Hey, Status Steve, please like and subscribe. Please click on the Deck Heroes icon, click on subscribe, 100% free. Well, apart from the blood in and blood out. Anyway, jokes aside, this is a vital equipment video. If you haven't seen the prequel, some may say, endgame equipment video, then I suggest that you do. It'll give you a bit more background and lots of insights. Honestly, it's video gold, some may say. But I have to acknowledge, and I kind of had this idea towards the end of the video. I think my main problem, and I'm certain 99% of the people watching this video, the problem is blueprints. The problem is the blueprints that we want. So I should say, blueprints that we want, and also materials. Okay, so this video is going to focus on the blueprints that we want and should be focusing on, and indirectly, if we focus on this strategy I got now, it's going to save you 1,000,000,000 billion gems. You can put all those into VIP no matter what level you're at right now. Okay, so I ended up the video talking about this piece of equipment, the Shield of Eternal Empire, and the reason that led me to this kind of deeper dive is I don't have the blueprints for it. It's not expertised or got the crit, whatever the fancy word you want to use. But I have invested in the iconic to get it to level 2. So I've had one to get the equipment whatsoever. I had one attempt at getting the crit, and I've had one attempt, successful obviously, in increasing the iconic attribute. If I would have watched this video I'm going to do now beforehand, I wouldn't have used any of those turns, not for infantry. What I would have done is, and what I should do, and will do, if I go to the weapons, I would invest in this, ironically, the Hammer of the Sun and the Moon. You will notice I got 4 blueprints. I think I got a bit confused in that video that I mentioned, talking about endgame equipment, just because I couldn't remember. So in the last KVK, I got 2 blueprints, and in this KVK, which just started, I think, is it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. I got 2 more blueprints. So that's my computer brain. 4. So that's more than I had for the Shield of Eternal Empire, which I just showed you a minute ago. Okay, I've already got more. Yes, it's going to cost me more materials, but not that much more. This is what I realised. So this is going to cost 90 legendary, okay, regardless of type. This one's going to cost me 90 legendary. Let me double check because my maths is awful. Double check. Yeah, 15 and 15 is 30 plus 60, that's 90. That's exactly the same, and I can get the blueprints much easier. Well, how do I get the blueprints? This is a bit more kind of problematic in a way, because I've gone to every single KVK since the start. You know, I mean, some kingdoms are more active than others, but if I just go into the shop, what are they called again? There we go. Ooh. I think they're called season coins. They're like the low end coins. No, it's the conquest coins. Conquest coins, I believe they are. Conquest coins. So over the course of the KVKs that I've been in, I've had these conquest coins and nothing to spend it on. I wasn't thinking, until I made that video, I wasn't thinking on the lines of having the Hammer of the Sun and the Moon. Of course, I'm talking about infantry endgame equipment. It cost exactly the same number of materials. It's got better stats, and it's easier to get the blueprints. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to use this, and we're going to save up the blueprints and put it into this. It's going to be very similar for the Helm of the Conqueror blueprint. So that's that in itself. It's got better stats. So let's do a proper deep dive. I was going to talk about how many gems you're going to save, not having to go to the hunt for history and everything else. Maybe I've already mentioned it. I may well mention it again a little bit later. But again, in terms of materials, exactly the same. You can just look at the stats: infantry attack 20%, or infantry attack 25%, and it's going to be the same for the iconic as well. Base attack +3, that may well be the same, but the second iconic skill, enemy health ignored 2%. Let's make that 2.5%. On the hammer of sun and moon, unit capacity is 1000. So look at the eternal, drops down to 800, and again it's the same number of materials. No brainer, brain nonna. So in terms of what I've got at the moment, let's have a quick look at that. So yeah, the second I remove it, I will lose the march speed. So it depends where you're at on that, and there's lots of YouTubers, particularly sponsored YouTubers, who actively encourage players or their viewers to go down this march speed thing for reasons unknown. Reasons unknown, really. I go down the theory of, listen, you can run to me, but when you get there, I've got more attack minimum. I'll have more attack, won't I? Let's face it. In this one, because I'm talking about going from Eternal Empire to, was it Sun and Moon? Sun and Moon, wow. So I'm going to have more attack. So yeah, fair enough, you can run to me quickly. One punch to the jaw, I'm going to get better stats. Attack, defense, health over march speed all day, every day. So yeah, I'm going to lose that march speed, but as I say, I'll just be stronger. Very similar story regarding, where are you? I don't have the blueprint, so it's not going to here we go. Helm of the Conqueror. Now, I've nearly expertised this in terms of this one, Eternal Empire. So this gives me 11% infantry defense, or when I get this, that shoots up to 15. And of course, eventually I'll get I'll get the blueprints I need in order to expertise it and get it to level 5, and then you focus on everything else. But let's look at the number of materials needed for this end game equipment. 60 legendary, and at the moment I've been investing 60 legendary, exactly the same. So that was correcting an error from that end game equipment video that I did recently. It's still a brilliant video, but I think I just assumed that the number of legendary materials was going to be higher. It's not. It's exactly the same for better stats, but I do concede that I will be slightly slower, but I will be powerful, and I'll be packing that punch when I get there. So there you go. So if I had my time again, and this is why I'm doing the video for people that are starting off, you know what I mean? So if you are an infantry main, don't bother to have to spend all those, don't spend the gems anyway, because I'm trying to convince you to spend it on VIP, and you will reap rewards. I promise you, as you get more experience in the game, you're thinking, oh man, I'm getting all these extra buffs. And I've done I think 2, if not 3 VIP points videos highlighting what the rewards are, and you know, in terms of attack and being able to build quicker and do your research speed quicker, meaning less blueprints, less speed ups, less speed ups to do research and building, etc. Plus the power boosts. You know, this is a war game. All that good stuff. So that is what I advise. I think this is an absolutely vital video. If you on the same lines and you agree, then let me know in the comments. If you disagree, like respectfully, then just let me know. Nah, Steve. I mean, what would you disagree on? You know what I mean? Unless you're really a march speed major, maybe, who knows, something like that. I did also mention before in that end game infantry equipment video that I did invest in all 6. I've got all 6 pieces. But I found that once I got that 6th piece, I ain't going to repeat the whole thing. I just want to say that one of the reasons why people might say I'm not going to go to the Hell and Moon thing is because if you get all 6 pieces, you get this bonus attack of 5%, and that's good, right? Well, it's obviously not a bad thing. The second I got the 6th piece, for me, I ended up losing more battles just because I wasn't being selective about trying to prioritize defense on a skill damage commander. Now, if I was going to put this on a smite damage commander where the attack would actually contribute towards boosting the active skill, the smite damage, different conversation. Different conversation. It may well even be in the future, assuming I'm still playing the game and they don't go to T6, or they kind of, oh man, honestly, anyway, let's not get drawn into that. I don't want to cry. It might be that all of these kind of Eternal Empire equipment, all or most, might make their way to a smite damage commander, and it will do very well. You know, all the bits that emphasize attack, I'll probably just tweak things. Could well do. We'll see in the future. We'll see in the future, and I think people already know my thoughts on William Wallace, so on. Yeah, I've done a couple of videos on that, so I'm not going to get drawn into it. So yeah, long story short, the shield, the helmet, I wish I could go back in time and get those from KVK Kingdom. And of course, even if I did optimize the Shield of Eternal Empire, I'd probably run out of blueprints. And you know what I mean, I'm probably gonna, if I was in a rush to get the blueprints for the Eternal Empire, I'd have to make a decision to make some kind of trade-off, or spend things I don't really want to spend if if I can't wait. But that's not the situation that I'm in. I'd probably just rather wait and maybe not expertise the Eternal Empire if I can resist, and start investing in the helmet next, because then I'd need 5 blueprints, which is definitely achievable, and I'll get the Iconic to level 5, and after I've done that, then I'll worry about trying to expertise it, because that may take another 4 tries to move nowhere until I reach, finally expertise it or crit it, depending on what your terminology is. I think the other important thing for me to suggest is, or to mention, sorry, is I probably would stick with 2 items on the Eternal Empire set, and it's likely to be the gloves and the boots, just because you get the bonus defense. So I haven't looked too deep into that, but I don't see any harm in getting the value from that, following on from the conversation I was just having, or the comment, sorry. And as you already know, where I got the Hope Cloak from and the Eternal Knight was from the trading post, basically. At the moment, it's for the trousers. The Eternal Knight, you can see it right there in the middle, top left middle. That's where I get it. Cost me £4.99, £4.99. That you can get a blueprint every month. You don't have to do it, but if you're a low spender, that's where you can pick up your blueprints. I say the shield and the helmet, you can get those from KVK. And then in terms of your hunt for history, which is why I recommend to get your blueprints for everything else, you'd be focused on the boots and the gloves. This video, when you think, just please think about it, could save you so many gems. And again, I just wish I could wind the clock back on this and this, which I'm still happy with. Again, I'm still happy with, but and I don't think it cost me many or any gems. I mean, I can't remember back over the entire time they've been playing the game. Let's have a quick look at that as well, just to clarify. If you look towards the upper middle, consecutive login days, oh my gosh, 1,985. That's over 5 years. That's just under 5.5 years playing the game. And apparently this game's been out 6 years, which I honestly didn't know. I was just guesstimating, you know what I mean? What did he say, 2018? So yeah, that's about 6 years, and I've been playing it for 5.5. So, oh my gosh, man. Oh gosh. But I am also looking for I do like the game, obviously, still, but I am looking for another game. And it does cross my mind whether I do something else, another game from scratch, this game from scratch. My main thoughts are it requires so much time that if I was going to do it, I'll probably do it over Christmas. you know, when I've got the time to commit technically, and everybody else is kind of stuck at home. So who knows? Maybe that's what I'll do. Anyway, honestly, I think this is this is my strategy. Probably many other people's strategy out there about what I'm going to do to solve that blueprint problem. Huge problem. You can get materials along the way from killing barbs. You can get materials from the blacksmith. You know, you just pick up lots of materials along the way. One other thing, crucial thing actually, before I go, that I wanted to mention, in terms of the KVK shop, I am not buying any gold heads. I'm not saying it's not useful, but you have to prioritize. You have to get serious, right? Especially if you're not a high spender. Now, I'm going to be a high spender in terms of this, well, mid spender in terms of this event, and I'll probably get everything that I want. You know what I mean? More or less tech maximized. That's what I'm talking about, and that's how you get the credits, right? So that's, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to spend any of those in gold heads. I get 3 gold heads every day for free. You know what I mean? It's a little bit harder to come by from this equipment, especially if I'm going for the highest level of that equipment, and especially if I want to deck out 5 armies, and if they don't bring out a new kind of meta or something new for us to invest in, which of course they could do and probably will do. Long story short, you will never have enough equipment materials. Most likely, it's always going to be something else that you need to upgrade. The gold heads, if you're selective, not as much of a problem. And as I say, listen, the equipment side of the video is almost ended. Spend it on the materials, right? In terms of your blueprints, Horn of Fury for the Rage. I just did that video yesterday as well, talking about the best commanders. At the time, I had the Ring of Doom as the #1 pick, the most important thing to get. And it probably still is, but then I did that video yesterday talking about William I, and I couldn't believe that people are still choosing him as really old commander doing area of effects, Cav commander doing area of effects, like token damage, but he does not allow any additional skill damage. And just think about how much damage that nullifies. You know what I mean? In terms of those 3 armies which are touched in the air. Long story short, yes, I would say that Ring of Doom is what you should be spending your credits on. So first priority, gold, equipment, material chests, then the accessories. What I was trying to say was, normally I would probably say Ring of Doom. If there's any William the Firsts out there, then yeah, you probably prioritize Horn of Fury. I think William the First is, yeah, he's something to consider, but I don't know if he'll change the whole strategy for that, just because he's hardly ever seen. I haven't seen him in a long time, maybe years, other than obviously yesterday, where he just popped up again, and I've actually incorporated him into one of my armies. So yeah, if it's more widely used, then yeah, this Ring of Doom is still important, just goes down that pecking order. Long story short though, get your blueprints that you want for the accessories here, and I've given you the rounded considerations on that. Let's have a quick look at this. Okay, range that's for siege. I'm just thinking, I haven't seen that before. Yeah, as I say, I'm concentrated on the hammer at the moment. It's not going to be the biggest issue if I actually get some of these as well, but obviously I don't want to be in a situation, these being of the Helm of the Conqueror for the helmets. I want to try and avoid a situation though where I'm on the brink of getting the crit level for the hammer, and I can't do it because I've used all the keys. You know what I mean? They've acquired over all of the KVKs. I think I've used 4 in my lifetime, all on that hammer, and I'm left with my computer brain. There's probably an equipment in it. Maybe not. Apologize for this. It's just not there. It's not going to be there. I did see it somewhere. I apologise if I've missed it. I just can't see it. I think I got. I know it says 2 there. I don't think I've only got 2 left. I think I've got more. Anyway, basically, I'm gonna put it into this, and those are the considerations. Hope you found this useful. Please like, subscribe. Click on the Decorator's icon. Click on subscribe. There's Steve, and I am out.